Hey, I'm Dr. Nicole Price, and welcome to the Overcome Her series. Today, we're talking about overcoming ignorance. Overcoming ignorance. As you already know, I don't talk about things I have not experienced. I do not talk down to people because Black women are some of the most disrespected people in America. We do not need additional haters on our stream. Amen. Amen. I remember when I was in my 20s, I was actually sitting pretty well in terms of finances, and I don't say that to brag. I say that to talk about my ignorance. One day I went to the bank and I was getting money out of the ATM. Now, I'm a little older than you might imagine, a little closer to 50 than I am to 40. And so back then, you had to actually go to the ATM to check your balance, or if you wanted to check it real time. So I'm taking money out to get some cash for my kid in daycare. He's in the back seat, and I've got to be at work by 7:30 a.m. At the plant, the manufacturing plant where I work as a chemical engineer, they expect the engineer to be there for the stand-up meeting. And I'm running late, but not later than usual. Just my typical late. I don't plan to be there a moment before 7:25. I put my debit card in, punch in my PIN number, say how much cash I want to get out. And the screen comes back, says insufficient funds. You see, what you should know about me is at this point in my life, I have my own home, have my own car, I'm working. Um, I actually don't even have to pay much attention to payday, and I only get paid once a month. And that was because my father had died on my 10th birthday, and he had left plenty of money for us to be able to sustain ourselves. I can't get $100. So I put the card back in and I try to get a lesser amount. And the screen says insufficient funds. At this point, I'm thinking something is drastically wrong. So I conduct an inquiry. And when I do so, I learn that I have $13.74. I go to look at my bank statement for my savings account, and it was sitting solidly at zero. At this point, I have to make some very quick decisions. I call my mother, let her know something's wrong at the bank, but I need to get my baby to daycare and I have to pay. So I tell my mother, if you would just pay Miss Margaret, I will make sure that I figure out what's wrong. My mother agrees. I go on to the plant, and I'm planning to, at lunchtime, figure out what's wrong. Over the course of the coming weeks, I learned that, yes, I am down to $13.74. I had just gotten paid the previous Friday, and as I said, I only got paid once a month. My mortgage was behind. Credit cards I didn't even know I had were maxed. Even my corporate credit card had been used. I was beside myself. My story is one of overcoming. And I share in this beautiful book I have about how to be able to overcome the unthinkable when the unthinkable happens. And so my invitation to you, my dear, is that if you want to know more about this, you can pick up a copy of The Wholly Educated Motherfucker. And why? Because I believe very fully that all women, especially Black women, are going to be faced with an unthinkable situation at some point. And you do not have to start from the beginning, my loves. You do not have to start from the beginning. You are so good. You are so strong. You are so powerful that you have everything within you to be able to overcome despite the challenges. And how do I know? Because when I thought I couldn't, I could. And I believe the same about you. Now, if you decide that you don't necessarily want to support Jeff Bezos and his massive empire, and you want to pick up a copy from me directly, use the code SUPERFAN and you can get 25% off of any of the products we have in the store. And I also want you to know that I'll put a special gift in there for you. But before I leave today, there are 3 particular points that I certainly want to make sure that you are familiar with. If you live on this side of the dirt for any length of time, you will be faced with the unthinkable. That's point 1. And point 2, you have within you everything you need to overcome the unthinkable. And point 3, if you don't have it within you to overcome the unthinkable, God will put a ram in the bush, other people to lift you up, to be your overcomers and stand in the gap. Click like, click share. It has been absolutely fabulous to be with you here today.